ニューヨークヤンキースの名物アナ、マイケル・ケイ氏が米スポーツ番組 ESPN ニューヨークで大谷選手の価値について言及。番組の中でケイ氏は、大谷選手が現在あらゆるスポーツ界において最も価値のある選手であると主張し、さらにその波紋は労使協定にまで及ぶとコメントしました。その模様を日本語字幕付きでご紹介しますので、ぜひ最後までご覧ください。
This jumped out at me. Shohei Ohtani might be the most valuable player to his team in all of professional sports. I'm going to tell you why. Because he cost the Dodgers nothing. And I'll explain what I mean. So he makes $70 million a year, but he only gets paid $2 million per year. The other 68 will be paid at the end of the contract, which is 10 years long. So Guggenheim Partners, which knows how to invest money, is going to take the $68 million that they owe him each year, invest it, and I guarantee you they'll make money on it before they have to give him a $68 million. So it will cost them nothing. And you're thinking to yourself, how's that possible? How did they convince him to take just $2 million in present day money? How? Well, it came out yesterday. You know what Ohtani will make off the field this year? Off the field. $125 million. He is only the fourth athlete in sports history to make over $100 million in endorsements. The other three, Tiger Woods, Roger Federer, and Steph Curry. That's it. So amongst some of his sponsors, Japan Airlines, Seiko, Hugo Boss, New Balance, and there are others. $125 million off the field. That's why he gave the Dodgers that deal. And Artie Moreno of the Angels should be embarrassed. He offered the same deal to the Angels because Ohtani doesn't like change. And Ohtani was not chasing championships because he wanted to go back to Anaheim. He did not want to uproot himself. Get used to another team, another organization. He said to Moreno, you give me $70 million a year for 10 years, defer 68, just pay me 2, and Moreno turned it down. Now, when you look at 125 off the field, there's not a player in baseball that makes double digits in millions off the field. The closest to Ohtani are Aaron Judge and Bryce Harper, and they each make $9 million in endorsements. $9 million. So Ohtani makes $116 million more than those guys do. And they're the tie for second in the majors. So when you look at the Dodgers and the stuff they could do when they throw $60 million at Kyle Tucker, Sportico came out the other day. You know what the Dodgers generated in income last year? In revenue. Over $900 million in revenue. The money pouring in from all walks of the planet. They just sold the naming rights to the field at Dodger Stadium to Uniqlo. Ohtani has helped them print money. The next closest revenue-generating team, according to Sportico, were the Yankees. And their revenue was $650 million. So the Dodgers are generating $250 million more in revenue than the New York Yankees on a year-by-year basis. So when you look at their payroll and you look at their revenue sharing that they give out and the tax they have to pay, you know what they do? They yawn. They yawn because they can afford it because of Ohtani. Ohtani has turned the Dodgers into a veritable gold mine. And when you see the Dodgers and their ability to spend over $700 million in payroll when you include taxes and revenue sharing, that's why the owners are fighting for a cap, because no one can do it. There are teams that generate revenue, like the Yankees generate revenue, but it's not $900 million. It's $650. It's $650. And everybody else is way, way, way below those two teams. And John Heyman reported today that all 30 owners are solidly behind demanding a cap. Now, even if the Dodgers say they are and they don't really believe it because you're taking away their greatest advantage, doesn't matter. If 29 teams are in on it, the Dodgers have no say. And Steve Cohen seems to be in on it. And the fact that the Yankees are in on it, behind it, and the Red Sox and the Cubs, all the big market teams, that makes me nervous. That maybe this time, the owners don't cave. That they really will dig in their heels, and even if it costs the 2027 season. The one thing that I would like to plead to both sides, make the sausage. Don't tell me what's in it. I don't need to go through the process. I don't need you both spitballing at each other in public. Let the fans that love baseball enjoy this season without worrying about next season when it might not happen. Because once you're airing your dirty laundry in public, fans are going to get upset. They're going to take sides. They're not going to be able to enjoy the greatness that goes on the field. So when Heyman says all 30 owners are firmly behind a cap, and he said right now it looks like they're looking at $280 million for a cap. Who knows what the floor would be? And the fact that the small market teams are cool with the floor, so the floor might be 170. And when you consider there are teams that have under a $100 million payroll, that's a lot of extra money that they're going to have to spend. But we don't need to know what goes on behind closed doors because you know what? It's not a popular vote that's going to end up making this collective bargaining agreement. If we all had to go to the polls and vote which side, then yeah, make it public. It doesn't matter to us. Find out a way to split those billions of dollars. It shouldn't be that hard. One final thing about the WBC. We don't know when the next one's going to be. It's usually every 3 years. But it's negotiated with the collective bargaining agreement. So until they do that collective bargaining agreement, we don't know when it's going to be, whether it's 2029 or 2030. And Manfred threw out there the other day that he would consider having it in the middle of the season. But Alex Cora, who is managing the WBC, he brought up a really good point today. He said, I don't know if you could have it in the middle of the season. Then he was asked why. And he said, well, the other countries are involved. They have leagues. The Japanese leagues going on at that time. The leagues in Latin America, also, there's leagues going on at the time. Mexico, the same deal. He said, this is only for the major leagues. They don't care if the major leagues have the successful WBC. They're not going to stop their league for 2 years. He goes, so if you don't get or for 2 weeks, if you don't get the agreement of those other countries, then this just becomes players in the major leagues representing either the United States or the country of which they're from. It doesn't become a true global event because there are some players in Japan that don't play in the major leagues that played for Team Japan. And there are players in Mexico that don't play in the big leagues that played for Team Mexico. So it's easy for us to say, well, the perfect time is at the All-Star break, which is what I think it is. But there are things that have to be figured out because you're not going to stop other leagues from playing.
最後までご覧いただきありがとうございました。今回の動画についてどういう感想を持たれましたか？ぜひコメント欄で意見や感想をお聞かせください。チャンネル登録やグッドボタンを押していただけると励みになります。それでは次回の動画でお会いしましょう。